So this afternoon about 4:40, 4:45, a joint team comprised of BCSO deputies and FBI agents were conducting an open field search of a field where we had already checked once before, but due to high brush, we made a conscious decision to head back out there and check again. They found what we believe to be a body at this point. It's too early to tell who the body is or cause and manner of death. The medical examiner will be making both of those determinations, but we hope that we can try to expedite that process to be able to get the community answers that everybody's been waiting for. Any questions?
Sir?
During the course of the investigation, we developed some information that there may have been some suicidal ideations on Camila's part before, some signs of depression, undiagnosed as far as we can tell, but from what's being described to us, it sounds like it was a young person going through a very tough time in their life and going through some emotional issues, and there was some indicators of suicidal ideations as well.
Sir, ¿el cuerpo de la persona que se ha encontrado es un hombre o no?
Ahorita no se sabe, no podemos decir.
What kind of, any obvious injuries to the body?
No, at this point, no. I mean, I can tell you that we found a firearm very near the body. And in this particular case, we were actually looking for a firearm as well that had come up missing.
And did that firearm belong to a relative?
It was a family member's firearm, yes. No, I mean, the last video we put out yesterday was a video from somebody's dash cam that had seen somebody matching the description that we had put out on social media that day. At this point, we're still not 100% that the person in that video is Camila. Although the clothing description did match, we received several different kinds of clothing description of clothing she could be wearing at the time. And so at this point, it's too early to tell if this is actually her, but we're operating on that distinct premise. Pues quisiéramos pedir más videos de la comunidad. Obviamente el video de ayer ojalá nos ayudó un poco, pero también se sabe que el área donde ella fue encontrada o el cuerpo fue encontrado está cerca de la casa. Es posible que si es ella, ella pudiera haber cruzado a ese punto sin cámaras verla a esa hora también. Yes, the area where the body was found is very close to Camila's home, and it's quite possible that based upon the canvassing that we did, not every house had camera footage or cameras. So it is possible that at that time of the day, on that day, she may have made it out to that area without going across any camera. So it's possible no camera footage exists. But we would still ask people on that street to double check their cameras again. Yes, sir. So I'm guessing in the next day or two they'll be able to tell us a little bit more about who the body is, and then hopefully soon thereafter cause and manner of death as well. La ropa que tiene puesto el cuerpo es similar a la ropa que nosotros teníamos figurados que ella llevaba puesta. There was a firearm missing in this case. We had not parted with that information publicly just yet, but I can tell you that there has been a firearm recovered at the scene where the body is. Missing from the home, yes.
But have you confirmed that firearm belonged to that relative?
The firearm that was missing did belong to a relative. The firearm that has been observed there at the crime scene, we haven't touched it yet. So we haven't gotten close enough to verify serial numbers. Sí hay una pistola ahí con el cuerpo y sí sabemos que en este caso una pistola se había desaparecido de la casa. Una pistola que pertenecía a un pariente.
¿Van a dejar de buscar en el área? Porque ahorita
Todavía no se sabe si es
Pues
ella.
todavía vamos a dejar una presencia aquí en el área. Nosotros vamos a estar aquí por cuando menos esta noche procesando la escena. Porque ahorita, aunque no sospechamos homicidio, todavía tenemos que manejar la investigación con esa posibilidad en mente que puede ser un homicidio. Entonces tenemos que estar aquí por la mayoría de esta noche procesando todo. Entonces van a todavía haber actividades aquí de nosotros.
¿El médico forense podría, digamos, tardarse en revelar los resultados de los exámenes?
¿Cómo dice?
¿El médico forense se podría tardar en revelar el resultado de los exámenes?
Ojalá para mí, mi preferencia es que tan pronto que se pueda. Ojalá en unos cuantos días nos puedan decir quién es esta persona que nosotros encontramos y qué fue la manera de fallecer.
Y otra pregunta, solamente en esta semana hay 3 casos de mujeres desaparecidas, bueno, adolescentes. Una que es Sofía Gabriela.
No, Sofía ya la encontramos. Está bien, está bien.
¿Comentar un poco dónde
Sí,
la
sí. He was just asking me about a young lady that we put on social media this morning, Sofia Cobos. We were actually in the process of reporting that she's been found alive and well when this call came in, so we kind of hit the stops on her. But Sofia's we're no longer looking for her. Thankfully, she's back with family and she's accounted for.
Me imagino que ya le notificaron a la familia de Camila que encontraron este cuerpo. ¿Cómo reaccionaron? ¿Qué le dijeron?
Bueno, no tengo mucha información en eso, solamente que nosotros sí mandamos una agente federal y una de nuestras investigadoras. Ellas las dos fueron y les dieron las noticias a la familia de Camila que habíamos encontrado un cuerpo, pero no se sabe, yo no sé qué reaccionaron.
Por parte de la familia van a necesitar ADN o algo que para poder ver si es...
Pues a ver qué es lo que vamos a necesitar. No sé si el forénsico médico nos puede ayudar con huellas o con récords dentales o como sea, pero la familia han estado ayudándonos con todo lo que se necesita y ojalá tenemos las esperanzas que ellos van a seguir ayudándonos.
So is this early indications that it's that it could be a suicide?
Look, at this point, we were certainly operating with that in mind. There had been some concerns early on. We didn't necessarily part with all of this information in detail, but there had been some concerns of depression, suicidal ideations made on Camila's part, to where we were considering that a very real possibility. Obviously this body being found with a weapon very nearby, that's certainly, to me, the prevailing theory, but we're still going to process the scene as if it's possibly a homicide and possibly not her. But, obviously for us, we're operating with that as the main prevailing theory at this point.
How is the family holding up?
I don't have much information other than we did send a joint team to the house of an agent and a deputy an investigator from the sheriff's office, and they both delivered that notification to Camila's mom a little bit ago, but I don't know what the reaction was from there. And we were not able to tell her definitively this is her because we just don't know at this point.
Mounted deputies who found
At this point, I don't know if it was a mounted deputy or a deputy on foot or a deputy or a drone. We had drones overhead as well. I'll probably be receiving that update here in just a few minutes. But it was a good joint team of BCSO and FBI. And once again, the FBI has just been great at this. DPS called us earlier. Chief Vince Luciano has been great. He's been calling me all day, asking if we needed any help. I've been receiving calls from law enforcement all over, offering up assistance. But FBI came through big time for us today.
¿El cuerpo presentaba alguna herida, algún golpe?
Ahorita no se sabe porque todavía no tocamos el cuerpo. Solamente encontramos el cuerpo, tapamos ahorita y luego ya no vamos a tocar el cuerpo hasta que llegue el forénsico. So, from what I can gather, she was having a tough time with school, with work, with a relationship that had recently ended. I mean, just typical teen stuff that she had going on, and it's heartbreaking to have seen and read some of the things that we're reading, because it was pretty clear she was going through a very tough time. So, I mean, I use this as an opportunity to remind everybody out there, whether you've got kids this age or even well into adulthood, check on people and don't take anything for granted. Many times we hear, well, she was depressed, but she seemed to have gotten better all of a sudden, so everything must be okay. Well, sometimes when everything seems to be okay, it might be because they've made up their mind and they're coming to peace with the fact that they're going to end their own life. And so I don't mean to scare anybody with that, but don't always take that as a comfort and say, okay, we must be through the crisis. Definitely, if you're going through a crisis yourself, reach out and get help. If you suspect that a friend or family member is going through a tough time mentally, please get them the help that they need.
And also for people watching, you have a crisis hotline, right?
Sure, there's crisis hotlines. There's a national suicide hotline. You can always call the non-emergency number for the sheriff's office or for the SAPD. There's no shortage of numbers you can call, and absolutely people are going to be willing to come help.
And I know you choked up earlier. This is definitely a tough time, but how are you feeling?
It's tough. This is certainly not the outcome we were hoping for, right? We always hope in these situations that she's going to be fine and that she's with a boyfriend and just wanted to get away from everything and not talk to anybody. You don't ever want any case to end like this.